Hey, what's up, guys? Little man with a big opinion here. So, I think the World War II ticker can move a little bit closer to maybe happening because the United States is sending a Marine response team to the waters outside of Israel. Um, Everything I've read on it, it's posturing. Um, they're essentially saying they want Israel and Hamas to deal with their stuff on their own. Uh, and those guys are there to let Iran, Syria, uh, Lebanon, everyone around that seems to be wanting to get in on the action, just kind of letting them know that if this escalates anymore, then we could get involved. So we are playing a brinksmanship game. Uh, a little bit earlier this week, we sent a carrier strike force over there, and this is kind of, it's a weird time for all of this to happen. We're gearing up for an election, so vote for the people that you agree with, and we'll see what happens on election day. And I think we can kind of guess based off of the hat that I'm wearing that says "We the People" how things will go in my household. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, uh, but this also comes during a time when Janet Yeller, however you pronounce her name, says that the United States can definitely fund two wars going on at the same time. But from what else I've seen in the news, it seems like we are not interested in funding what is going on in Ukraine much anymore. There's pros and cons to it, but generally speaking, I think there's a big push in the country to move more towards, uh, getting our stuff together first. It's like when you go through and you try to help someone on like a difficult climb, and you're helping them get up higher by standing on your shoulders, even though you haven't put in any of the anchor points, you haven't gone any further, and so they're able to keep going all on their own, and now you're stuck in this one spot. So you need to help yourself first before you can help others out. So that's where it gets into the whole prepping idea. Not much really changes for me. From a historical standpoint, it kind of reminds me of the Victory Gardens. So we do plan on planting a garden this coming spring. We're going to add more fruit trees in, because I am a little tired of, just getting my fruit and stuff like this. But you should be continuing to put food aside. You should continue to be putting water aside. You can kind of see it in the background right about there, but that's a big, 40 millimeter ammo can that is about a third of the way full. And I'll update y'all when I actually get the thing filled up. But, the way I like to think about it is beans, bullets, and bandages. We try to keep our preps moving forward in a very well-rounded way. If all of the money I spent on preps went towards guns and ammo, there would be tens of thousands of rounds at this point. But other things that we need to keep into mind, move, cat, is we need to be filling up our 5-gallon buckets. That one was recently filled up with about 33 pounds of pinto beans inside of 5 1-gallon Mylar bags. So that needs to get stored aside. The cat's standing on another bucket that we filled up. And, we're going a little heavy on oatmeal right now because that's what the baby is starting to eat other than just breast milk. So we got another 5 pounds of oatmeal, which really isn't a lot because oatmeal's super light. But we're filling up. Well, I just kind of, I'll show it off. We'll take a little walk. It'll get a little dark here. But we're adding more oatmeal. We eat the stuff, we enjoy it, but because the child is also eating it, we're starting to fill this shelf up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, almost 4 quart-sized jars of oatmeal that we added recently to the preps. With on a monthly basis, I think we'll fill up about 2 gallons worth of storage for oats. And I've got another container of mason jars somewhere. And then something else that we are using, because they're essentially a 5-gallon bucket. I talk about the cats. We've got the empty cat litter containers that we spray out, run a little bleach through it, and they're basically a square 5-gallon bucket. I kind of like them a little bit more than the round ones, just because I think it stores up a little bit nicer. And everything that we're putting inside of these, we are putting in Mylar bags, and they've been cleaned through pretty well. But I got 2 buckets here, got a third one there, and I'll show it off for a second. I just recently filled this guy up, so it's one of the cat litter containers. And when we open it up, we'll see that it is full of freeze-dried Mountain House meals. And we've got the Harvest Right freeze dryer, so we're getting ready to freeze dry our own meals, but they're inside their own individual packets. And just storing them inside here helps keep rodents off of them, and it kind of keeps them in that dry place. And so our goal is to do one of these every couple of months from the freeze dryer. So we're still stacking food to the rafters and still buying the bullets. If you didn't watch my video about the IFAK kit that I made, I'll link that in the description down below. Recently got that put together. Just piecing things together. Got another roll of duct tape. Used a little bit of it, and something that I actually need to do before the end of this video is wrap a little bit of it around my new lighter. That way, it just adds, more options for what is carried in the everyday carry. Another prepping item that's kind of a prepping item, it's really nice to have, we just got a VCR. And I've got a new VCR. The last one quit working. But I've got about 30 of the classic, Disney movies and different things that came on a VCR. And that is something that will go inside of a Faraday cage, and that'll be our form of entertainment if things go south. We're doing all of the different things that we can. I've got a video planned on what I purchased as a prepper over the most recent monthly basis, and the cost breakdown of all the different things that we got, and just how we budget as preppers in this family with a small child and a 1-income household. I can say there are times where we spend $25, $30 a month on preps. And then there are times where we get to spend a few $100s a month on preps. It just kind of depends on, how the cards fall that month. So, all that being said, I would still say you need to be hyper vigilant. Pay attention to the news, pay attention to what's going on. I think it should just be, full steam ahead. If you are buying 5 pounds of rice and beans every week, continue to buy 5 pounds of rice and beans every week. You are probably better prepared than 95% of Americans. If you're spending $50 a month on ammo, keep spending your $50 a month on ammo. I think the easiest thing that everyone can do is start getting more physically active. Every Monday I walk the baby up to the Boy Scout meeting, which is about 1.5 miles. And depending on how we feel, mostly how the baby feels, we either walk back home or we get picked up. But at the very least, we're walking that 1.5 miles every day. It could be as simple as you're doing 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every day. You're probably doing more to stay physically active than a lot of other Americans. If you've got a kit, get some LARPing in. Wear your kit around out in the woods. Get a feel to, where everything should be. If you've got the funds to shoot on a monthly basis, you should be shooting on a monthly basis. If you have a bug out location, you should be spending as much time as you can at that location getting it ready. If your only plan is to bug out, then you should be fairly physically fit and have the contingency of having to use your feet to get out. If your sole plan is to bug in and you've turned your home into some sort of, fortress of solitude, there is always more that can be done to, better prepare. The preparedness game never ends. We're going to be constantly, adding more food and putting it away. We're going to be constantly, exercising, adding in more bullets, making new team members. The grind never ends. I just hope these videos maybe convince you that you should be accelerating your prepping, turning it from more of a hobby into a lifestyle. So if that's what you're looking for, subscribe to the channel, like these videos, it helps them out. And if there are others, these videos get views, you have friends and family members, share the channel with them. And with that, catch you in the next one.